Yo, what up, folks? All right, we got 2015 Nissan NV 350. This is a E26 bus. They also call this a Caravan. All right, so the customer complaint is that he's losing power. So let's get into it. Okay, so we got a backstory on this vehicle. I was able to diagnose this vehicle some months back, right? I'm gonna leave the link up in the box, right? But the customer decided to visit another shop with it and got some work done, right? So I believe that they replaced the valves and they lapped the valves, and that was it, right? And now he's back because he's losing power, and you'd like to know exactly what's going on. So he's losing power. It sounds like it have a lot of tapping noise. No check engine light is on. And what else did he say? He wish he had done it the right way the first time, but unfortunately he couldn't. So he asked if I can have a look at it and see if he could figure out what that loss of power is about, right? So I believe it had a loss of power issue before he came in from his fire, right? I was able to diagnose that. Cylinder number 2 and 3, I believe 1 also had like low compression, right? So they went after that, and he said he took it to our next shop after he got the work done, and they told him he should have done timing chain and stuff like that. And then I'm not sure exactly how it did, right? It kind of went haywire after that, right? So he's back here. You like this vehicle diagnosed, and he wants to figure out what's his next move. We got 202,000 kilometers on the dash, right? As I said, that's a 2015 E26 bus. What happens is sometimes these guys tend to put alternative fuel into the system or to run the system, and it tends to mess up the valves, the cat, a lot of things, right? This is a switch right here. You can just press the switch to switch from gas to alternative fuel, which is CNG, right? Yeah, and I believe that comes a lot from the I would say lack of understanding first and foremost, but also when they go to these places where they so-called add in these alternative fuel, they don't add the correct mixture, and they basically have the vehicle running lean, and they burn the valve and the valve seats, right? So I'm definitely going to do a compression test on this vehicle to let the customer see exactly what's going on internally, right? And then he'll take it from there, and then most likely we'll figure out or devise a game plan on how we're going to attack this engine, right? Is it going to be a full tear down? Is it going to be whatever it is? But let's do some check before we jump to a conclusion. And as I said, sorry about the noise in the background. It's early in the morning, and you know how it is. The birds is out, right? They kind of keep me company, but they also mess up my videos. But what you gonna do? So let's get to it. We're gonna put the scan tool on this vehicle and see exactly what's going on, right? So we don't have no check light on. Let's see. All right, so no check light, but it definitely, how the vehicle sound like it's running rough and is losing power. So let's go on manual. This is a 2015. Let's do a screen record. Okay, let's go for Caravan. Where is it? Right, 350 E26 2018. Let's put this one. No, this is not 2018, sorry. This is a 2015, so we gotta choose this one. Okay, let's do ECM. Yes, I could have done a full scan, but came in for the loss of power problem and not anything else. So let's see what's going on, right? Read fault codes. We got no fault codes. Okay, so let's go into data stream. I want to look for my fuel trim, calculated load. What else do I'm looking for? I'm check my O2 sensor. Right, let's see what's going on. Is a timing issue? I hardly doubt that. Let's take our mass airflow, and that should vehicle speed. Let's take also our engine speed. Okay, let's graph this. So right now I'm seeing that like 100. As a matter of fact, let's start the car. So we're gonna get the vehicle warm, right? I'm watching my mass airflow. The car is cold, so I'm pulling a lot of air, so that's why you're seeing the grams per second is high. My calculated load is kind of high, right? I normally see like 19 to 20%, right? But let's let the vehicle warm up and then we're going to take it for a spin. But right now I need to go into closed loop in order to get the information. So let me, let it run for a little bit and get up the temperature.
What it feel like to see the truth and still ignore it? Whether in denial or out of it is still important. I'm from where they sold men, secrets only told friends.
Okay, so I'm still seeing that my calculated load is around 34 mass airflow. Is kind of high. I'm not sure if they did any maintenance on this, right? The vehicle doesn't feel like it's running too rough, but let's take it for a spin and see what's going on, right? Okay, so we are attempting to drive and now I'm losing power, right? So I'm just trying to see if I can see what's going on. Oh man, I'm not going nowhere. So it's really like losing a lot of power when you step on the X, right? I'm not moving at all. Yeah. So I'm losing power while I'm driving. Let's get this back to the shop before we shut down. Right, so we just got back from the test run and you saw this vehicle was falling on its face, man, right? It drives what, like it's falling on its face. I'm not sure exactly, what was done by the next shop, but it definitely sounds like we having, some sort of restriction, whether it be restriction from fuel or restriction from the cat, right? The engine is under the front seat. I just got to raise this up and you're supposed to be able to get the things fairly easy. So let's do that and see exactly, how far this diagnose could take us. Right, so you hear this vehicle was sounding and driving, right? It was basically sound horrible and it's driving like crap, right? So what I did, I removed the top O2 sensor, right? And I'm gonna put my trusty vacuum gauge on this engine, right? I want to see how much back pressure this vehicle had, right? Just got my little adapter right here for exhaust, and let's see how much back pressure this vehicle has at idle. And I said I don't think it looks good, right? Definitely is falling on his face. I don't want to assume that is fuel, but let's, as I said, man, let's do some checks on the exhaust side, right? I believe they also did some, they like to do some chain work and stuff like that, but I mentioned to the customer, let's see exactly what's going on and then you'll be able to make a decision from there, man. Because I mean, I did advise him to build an engine the right way, but due to whatever circumstances, he chose to go his way, and we are here because of that. So it is what it is. So let's get it done, right? I got my vacuum gauge right up, right? It's gonna be loud because the engine is in the compartment of the vehicle, so just bear with me. But I want to start the vehicle. Let me explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to start the vehicle. We're going to watch the gauge, right? I don't want anything to be, let's say we like to see this vehicle at perfect idle, supposed to be within 17 to 22 inch mercury, right? I don't want positive pressure, right? That means I have a restriction somewhere that's not letting the engine breathe, basically, right? Also, when I snap the throttle, I would like to see no more than, let's say, 1 to 2 psi, you know. Anything over that, just let me know that I definitely have a restriction in my engine and not allowing the vehicle to breathe, right? So this going to go up to 14 psi. I probably can use a fuel gauge. I do have an other gauge here, but this is a makeup gauge I rigged up this many years ago, right? So if I need to see more back pressure, we could try that, right? If this is not making the numbers, we can switch it out and I can show you exactly how much back pressure this vehicle definitely have using this gauge. It's a normal vacuum what you call it, AC gauge I rigged up many moons ago when, you know, the glass had broke and I just decided to not throw the gauge away. All right, so while you're watching that gauge, it's kind of hard to diagnose and hold the camera. I want to put the key on, engine on, right? Basically we still at 0. I'm going to start the vehicle up. As I said, it's going to make a lot of noise, so I'm just going to start the vehicle, let it idle for like 15 seconds, snap the throttle, let it idle, and you're just going to watch the gauge and, you know, see what's going on. So I'm going to start it up right now. Okay, so I'm getting like 1.5, 2 psi of back pressure on this engine, right? I'm not sure exactly how much I was actually seeing because, as I said, is, you know, only goes up to 14 psi. So let's hook up the makeup gauge and see exactly how much psi are we getting. Okay, so I got some tape on this, so it's kind of hard to see it, but just let's see how much back pressure that we seen in this engine, right? So I'm going to start the vehicle up again. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing the 2 psi on this gauge as well. Let's snap the throttle and we'll be able to see how much back pressure we have with this car. So let's do that. Right, so I'm seeing roughly like 22 psi pressure on this gauge, right? So yeah, that's basically confirming that we do have a restrict cat. You know, I'm just gonna, you know, peel back the layers, you know how I do, so you can, you know, get a better understanding of what you're looking for, how it feels if you have a claw cat. It's like the vehicle basically not going anywhere. You driving, you probably go like 30 to like 50 kilometers and you're not going nowhere, man. I mean, foot to board, man. So yeah, we definitely have a confirmed cat, right? Called cat. So yeah, I'm gonna probably remove the catalyst. If the customer can't afford one, we will probably make a recommendation that they put what do you call that, a resonator on it to just kind of quiet down the noise. But it definitely gotta either remove the cat or replace the cat with a fresh cat. We don't have that strict emission laws in this country, right? Everybody know how I do. right? But I don't like digging these things out. I like to replace them because I want the vehicle back like it's supposed to. But as I said, man, depends on the customer pocket, right? If they're going to replace the cat, or if they're going to just put a substitute setup there, or even, you know, leave it out. If they leave it out, it's going to be louder, have the engine sounding much louder. As I said, man, sorry about the birds in the background. Those are the birds outside of my property, and they keep me company in the morning. They make a lot of noise, right? Yeah. So let's do some more tests. You know how we do. Right, so we got the scope running. Right, I'm just gonna start the vehicle up, snap the throttle a few times, and let's see exactly what we gain. Right, as I said, this definitely may be a clogged cat. Right, I'm definitely losing power upon acceleration, and it drives like crap. It sounds like crap too. Sorry to diss the customer, but you got some suspension work to do on this vehicle, and the brakes is really low, man. I gotta like step on it really hard just to stop. I mean, even the handbrakes need to adjust, right? So we got some work. I'm just gonna inform him. No disrespect to no one, you know, but come on. But as I said, man, let's start this vehicle up and see exactly what's going on, right? Okay, let's start right now. I'm gonna stop this. Just gotta bear with me. Still getting used to this this equipment. It's really cool though. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is my compression towers. Alright, I'm seeing that much. Alright, so how do you tell if you have a restricted cat? If I put this one here, okay, I'm gonna put this one here. That's 0 to 720. So that's letting me know that I have how many PSI? I gotta do the math. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not worried about the towers. I'm just worried about if it have like any back pressure. What's that, like 5 psi at idle? You got 5 psi at idle. Okay, so let's try somewhere else. So we're gonna panhand here. Let's pull this right here. Get the cursors from there. So I got 5 psi at idle. From what I'm seeing here, we definitely have a clogged cat. Right, you know, when you drive around with all these misfires and head gasket issues and oil dumping into the engine, you know what happens? It damages the catalyst, right? Even this alternative fuel that they're using, right? I mean, when you do any kind of modification or you don't stay up on your maintenance, this will happen, man. You dig? The vehicle basically craps on itself, I guess, right? I'm gonna put the borescope in the exhaust and see how it looks. It could be partially clogged. It don't have to be fully clogged. All right, so let's go now let's enter this catalyst and see how it looks. Right now, definitely clogged. Yep, you see all those chunks. So we got a clogged catalyst, right? Okay, so what I did just to make it to the muffler shop, I just removed the O2 sensor. Here it is. Right, it's really hot. Right, I'm just gonna scan the codes. I'm expecting to see some sort of code for the heater or the O2 sensor or something like that. All right, so let's go back up and pull those PIDs that I got. Right, so we're gonna go into alpha. We're gonna go into what else? I'm gonna go after B schedule. What else? Let's pull up our O2. We don't need timing. Let's look for calculate load, because that could let us know if the cat, what we did by taking off the O2 sensor, you know, relieve some of the pressure off the cat. Right, let's check our mass airflow. Your mass airflow could tell you also if you have a clogged cat, because then you can't breathe. Right, so as I said, man, let's start it up again. Yeah, excuse the noise, it's really loud. But let's look for our calculated load. It's at 40, 31. Look at our mass airflow. It's dropping a little bit. Right. Alright, so we definitely still have a issue, because I took off the, as I said, I took off the sensor. But let's take it for a spin and see if we could drive. You just saw just now I wasn't able to drive, but let's see if what we did there can help us out. Right, yeah, the muffler is sounding really loud because we have basically a leak in the muffler. But let's see if whatever we do works. Okay, before I wasn't able to go over 40 kilometers, but yeah, so you see I'm able to drive the vehicle. I'm just gonna take my time and take it across to the muffler guy. It's gonna make a lot of noise, but I'm hoping that he could just replace the cat or find some solution.